All right, so again, when we take the test, I don't remember what day we said it was going to be, but it's next week. We'll see if that gets skewed at all, but it'll probably be like this. It'll be probably be Tuesday, okay? We could probably go and collapse this and probably do the responsive web design just in one period instead of 2 periods, so that should be fine. We'll catch back up. So on this list of 6 things, starting with 0, because I'm a computer person, we've now done 0, 1, 2, and we're doing 3 right now. So again, we'll pick it up. First thing we're going to do then on Monday is we're going to go and work on the calculator. And that won't have any arrays in it. Everybody hear that? All right, it won't have any arrays in it. What we're going to get to, just so you know, too, is, where is it? I'm sure I won't be able to find it in here now, but let's see. That isn't it. That isn't it. Like that one. Well, this isn't it, but what we're going to get to eventually is we're going to build something that looks like this. All right, and it'll be functional. I didn't use this one. I found this one online. The one we're going to do, it's based off of one that's online, but I made some changes to it to do some things that it doesn't do. All right. So hopefully everybody's had a chance to go and pick up that stuff if you want to go and key the stuff in. So question 1, what is an array? This is out of the book. This is not what I gave you. So an array is a collection of variables contained within a single variable. An array element is a value within an array. All right, you access array elements with brackets. You've learned that today. Just give me a second. I want to turn off my mail. There. And it's not on the test, but again, I just want you to get used to the verbiage. So if I say this, yeah. So if I say this, if I say numbers like that, this is literally pronounced numbers sub 3, sub short for subscript, equals 17. And what that means is assign the number 17, that's the equal sign, to the 4th array element. And it's the 4th one because it's 0, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's not on the test, but this is just stuff, you know, every time that there's a way to explain something, somebody's got to make a fancy name for it. So if you've never heard the word nomenclature, all right, this is the nomenclature for the way that you will set up arrays from now on. And it really won't matter too much what the language is. Most of them are almost done exactly like this. All right, everybody has this, what an array is and what an array element is, even if you're not a quick typist. All right, I can go back to it at the end if you're off by a word or two. So, what is an if statement? An if statement is a one-time Boolean condition. Remember, Boolean meaning true, false. You execute it if it's true. You don't execute it if it's false. So again, just to show you this, if, so this would be the Boolean condition. True actions, else false actions. Anybody remember in Word how I turn off these to make the characters like that show? Because I don't remember how to do it.
Right next to the where it has all the, like that big rectangle right there with all the normals and all that stuff.
This?
Little, yes, to the left of it, just to the left is that paragraph thing. Click that.
There. Yeah, thank you. That's easier to read. And again, if this is just a single line, you don't need the curly braces. I'm just telling you from my own experience, always use the curly braces, even if it's just one line. Just do it. It's not that much more work to put curly braces in. All right, everybody's got the first two? All right, let's move on then. Number 3, what is a break statement? A break statement terminates the current loop or switch. What is a continue? It restarts, so it skips, for lack of better words. So you already saw both of these before. So if I say if x equal 7, that means when it equals that, get the heck out. So that'll be get out of loop. This is in. If I do this and I say continue, that means skip this loop iteration. Right. But as long as you remember that a break terminates and a continue restarts, you should be all right for the test. Everybody got that? All right. Number 4, that's a big one. What is a switch? What are case labels? And what is a default statement? So you know what a switch is. Just, I'll come right, well, it's probably going to end up going down a little bit, but I just, remember, we just looked at this. Switch, we did a switch and we did it on size, if you remember that. So that would mean their size is the, it's actually not a case label. It's the thing you're switching on. And when we did this, and we came up here and we said case large, for example, then large is the case label. All right, so if we say that, and then break, and then we come down here and we do default, that's the default statement that's discussed right there. The default is only executed if none of these case labels are met. And that was the example I showed you, where I said if you imagine we have a place that only has small, medium, and large, and somebody comes in there and they're an extra small or an extra large, then the default would be hit. But I believe these are 3 different questions from the test. So when stuff was similar like that, I just combined it into one. No, I just wanted to show you. It comes at the bottom, and it's the one that's executed if nothing else is matched. All right, the next one, what is an if-else statement? Again, this is the way they put it in the book. If it's a truthy value, the if is true. If it's a falsy value, the else if or else is true. So just remember if, truthy, else, falsy. Okay? So again, with what they showed in here, and I already mentioned to you, when you do an if-else, the 2 big things, one of these 2 statements must execute, but only one can execute. All right? All right, this is an easy one. What must conditioned expressions be enclosed in? Parentheses. You have to use parentheses after an if, after a while, after a switch, after a do while, or after a for. Even if there's nothing in them, you must have parentheses. Number 7, what's a loop? And depending on the book you read or the language you use, loops are called loops. They're called repetition control structures. They're called iteration control structures, but they allow 1 or more lines of code to execute repeatedly while a condition is true, typically. All right, I'm not going to write down examples because we just did those for the while, the do while, and the for loop. What is get elements by tag name? As it says, it returns a collection, which means 0 or more. So if I wanted to return all H1 elements, I could use the get elements by tag name, and H1 would be the tag I'd be searching for. What is control flow number 9? Changing the order in which JavaScript code is executed. You learned, what, 5 different control flow structures today. The while, the do while, the for, the if, or if else, or if else, if else, whatever, and the switch. And those exist in JavaScript, and those exist in Java, and those exist in C#. And they're the syntax is almost identical, if not identical, between the 3 languages. That's good, because when we get to that part in C#, I'm not going to have to lecture on it. We can demo it in code, and then you'll see it. That's it. To me, that's a much better way to teach. Number 10, how do you end a switch statement? Remember, you have to have a break to get out of it. So better verbiage, but this is, rather than end, is how do you get out of a switch statement, but regardless, it's with a break. What is an infinite loop? It's one that never terminates. So the conditional expression never becomes falsy, as they refer to it in the book. It's always truthy. What is a nested loop? It's what is a nested anything. It's putting one inside of another. I showed you that with that little clock example that I did, where you had a while within a while within a while. Those are nested while loops. But this should have just said, what is a nested, I don't know, statement. It's putting one statement inside of another. And we got to step it up because they'll be coming in here for the next class quickly. So the last one, this is all the ones with the definitions. And you can't fit it all at once. So there they are. We've already gone through the if. We already went through the array. We already went through the switch. We already went through control flow. So you've got a bunch of those already. It's 11:50. I'll move this up when it gets to 11:52. And that should give you 2 minutes to do this and then 2 minutes to finish it up because they'll be in here by 11:55. How about this? Does everybody have the if statement one? The first one, everybody got that one done? And I'll move there. Just so you know, now the bad news, this is no joke, is I'm going to expect when you do the tests, you're going to have the top of your computer shut. Everybody hear that? Do you understand what I'm saying? When you do your written test next week, it'd be real easy to have this open, wouldn't it? So you're going to make sure you do this and you shut this when you're taking the test, because the test is still, you've got the hard copies of the test. Shannon says I have to do a better job of walking around when you're doing that. She said, oh, yeah, you trust them, but as far as you can throw them. All right, does everybody have the array one done? How about the index one? And it's control flow. That's the last one is control flow. Let's cut down the size on this just a bit. So we'll plan on Tuesday being the written next week. Remember, no class next Friday for Veterans Day. All right. I want to just stop taping here.